Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Linda. Good morning. We can hear you.
Hi, thank you. So let me introduce myself first to you guys. Guys, please confirm in case if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. And let me now continue with the session here. So first of all, I would like to say welcome to all of you, those they have joined the session. And the session belongs to SDWAN, right? So I'll be introducing myself. I'm Arvinda Kaur, associated with networking now since almost an year, right? And as far as if I talk about the training experience which I'm having, so I hold 16 plus years of training plus consulting experience. And as far as if I talk about my certification, so you can have a list over here. That's a very big list. So I've only written basically here, majorly related to network. So CCNA routing and switching, CCNP routing and switching, CCNA security, CCSI, GNCI, a lot of certification into firewalls, Cisco SD-WAN, and related to clouds, related to storage, related to Microsoft, a lot of in the list. But I've listed over here few only. Anything else if you guys would like to know about me? Guys, you can unmute and you can speak.
Hello, team.
Yes.
My name is 𝐍𝐞𝐭𝐰𝐨. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, it's audible.
This is a SD-WAN or a CCNA group.
It's an SD-WAN group.
Yeah, okay. And today I'm joining this group, and they're a new person. So
Okay, so this is the first class only. No, need not to worry. So are you okay with my introduction?
Yeah, okay, please.
Okay. Yes. So let me now have little small introduction from you guys also. Like I would like to know your name, basically what you do. Right? It means either you are a college student, you are in working experience, what set of experience you have it. So this is what I needed as a small introduction from you for a minute, right? So let me start with Nishant. Nishant, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, Arvinda. This is Nishan.
Yes.
Actually, I am from Rajasthan, and right now I am working with HCL, and my client is Cisco. So I have been in the same project from last 4 years.
Okay.
And
So
I have
yes.
and I have overall 8 years experience in routing and switching, and I have completed 4 certifications: CCNA, CCNP, and core, and 2 more. One is the I don't ITIL 4, and one more certification. Now I've been looking for the SD-WAN. So this is my first day.
Right. Perfect. So this is the first class only. Thank you, Nishant. So are you working with SD-WAN projects also, or you would like to learn first and then you'll migrating to that?
Yeah, first I would like to understand
Learn.
what is the SD-WAN. Then I will get a certifications, and after that I will find a project.
Okay. Thank you, Nishant. So welcome to the class. Let me now move to Ravi. Ravi Singh, can you hear me? Ravi, are you there?
Hi, good morning, ma'am. This is 𝐊𝐢𝐧𝐠𝐬. Okay, I'm working as a senior network engineer in Singapore, and currently I'm working in the healthcare, but of course supporting the IT, and we are basically managing the data center, having an access switches and catalysts and ASR. So we have a hybrid kind of like we have LAN, WAN, and trusted server zone, those kind of setup. So it's a overall end solution for the hospitals here. So my total years of experience is 13 years. But now, since we already have like hands-on on ACI, but I think moving forward, we will incorporate SD-WAN technology as well as the like hybrid kind of system like cloud computing and all those. So that's why I was keen to learn about SD-WAN as well. Yeah, so it's my
Okay.
first lecture.
Yeah. Thank you, Ravi, and welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Okay. So let me now move to Krishna.
Yeah,
Krishna?
yes, myself Christian. So I'm currently working in Tech Mahindra. Total years experience 14 years, and I worked routing, switching, firewall, and load balancer projects. So profile is security architect now. So currently I am working as a load balancer tax support. Okay, so I would like to know the SD-WAN technology. That's why I joined the class.
Thank you, Krishna, for coming to the class. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now let me now move to 𝐊𝐲𝐬. I hope I spelled correct.
Yes, is correct. Hi, ma'am. Good morning. My
Good
name
morning.
is 𝐍𝐞𝐭𝐰𝐨. I'm working in TCS. Project is Mechason project. So medical basis, this is and SD-WAN also lot of incidents daily is received. I clear the P1, P2, P3 instance. So I don't know knowledge in SD-WAN. That's why I'm facing the problem. That's why I joined in this group, this course.
Yeah,
But
no worries.
every incident
Welcome.
I resolve.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to the class. Now let me move to Surendra. Surendra, I hope you can hear me.
Hello, ma'am. I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Surendra. I'm working with Airtel. Hello.
Yes, Surendra, I can hear you well.
I am working in Airtel
Okay.
since 3 years and routing and switching. My profile is hardware
Okay.
solution. Okay, I
Okay.
have done the CCNA and I want to learn SD-WAN new technology, how to work because in Airtel they are demanding for this certification as well as this course.
Okay. Thank you, Surendra, and welcome to the class. Let me now move to Vinita Singh. Hi, Vinita.
Hi, Arvinder. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, actually, I have a total 6+ year of experience in networking and switching. I have done CCNA, CCNP. Now I'm looking for the SD-WAN technology to enhance my skills. So I'm here.
Okay. Thank you, Vinita, and welcome to the
Thank you.
class. So I would like to say once again, welcome to everybody. And now I know your profile that you are good into routing and switching, and further you would like to migrate to a new traditional WAN network, which is SD-WAN, from traditional to SD-WAN, right? So that's what is there. So let me give you today just an overview session of it, that what we will be learning here in the SD-WAN session. So this is what overall agenda we have it. Very high level agenda. We will be digging deeper too much to understand this entire infrastructure of SD-WAN, right? But before we move to this entire infrastructure of SD-WAN, we will learn first thing is what as and why do we need SD-WAN? What was the flows available there in my traditional network? So what was my traditional network? How are we migrating, and what set of technologies we are using within the SD-WAN? So that's wherein we will start with the first class. So today we will be having introduction, overview of the session, agenda of the session, what the things which we'll be covering, But my first session will start why do we need it, right? So when we look at why do we need it, we will be having a look at my traditional network. As I told you, what is the traditional? I get to know from you guys, you are very good into traditional network. Most of you have very good experience into what? Traditional networking, where you are working with routers, where you are working with switches, right? So we'll see what exactly is this traditional network. And specifically, when we'll talk about this traditional network, we will be talking about the WAN as a traditional network, not LAN as a traditional network, because you would have seen SD-WAN we are talking about. Software defined WAN we are talking about. So in the similar way, we will be talking first initially about the traditional network. We'll talk about the limitations of this traditional network and why are we moving or migrating to the SD-WAN, right? So we will see the limitation of traditional and then migration to the SD-WAN. So I should say that here, migration to the SD-WAN, right? And once we get to know how are we migrating to the SD-WAN, then we will look at what set of technologies we are using inside it. So there is a technology which we call it what? SDN. We'll have an overview of SDN. We'll understand what is SDN. Then we will have a look at what exactly is virtualization. Little knowledge about the virtualization. Little knowledge about the cloud. How exactly a cloud data center is hosting the devices. Right? Then we will talk about the NFV. What is NFV technology? What is NFV? It is network function virtualization. Once we will be able to understand all these things, then we will be able to understand what exactly is the SD-WAN. So this will be initial, you can say that my first session, which will be around these things before we start the actual agenda of the SD-WAN, right? So this is what is the part of what SDN overview, virtualization, cloud data center, NFV, so that I can bring your mindset towards the SD-WAN. What are the basic fundamental things as a prerequisite which is required? So we'll be covering all those. I hope it sounds good to you. Tell me, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Right.
great.
So yeah,
Yes.
so you will be able to cover all your fundamentals before we move towards the SD-WAN. And then we will have a look at the SD-WAN. Now, how many of you are aware about Cisco certificate program of SD-WAN? Do you remember the exam code?
No.
It's 300-415. This is the exam code of SD-WAN. So if I take you to that Cisco SD-WAN certification from, so let me leave for a minute the slides and let me take you to that particular path. We'll go to Cisco website. And we'll have a look at the certifications. Cisco SD-WAN certification. So why I'm doing this, so that you can also at a later stage, whenever you are available, you can have a look at it. What? So the exam code is what? 300-415. So if I click onto this, you will be able to see this is what implementing Cisco SD-WAN solution. So we are not talking about theory. We are talking about how do we implement Cisco SD-WAN solution. So along with the theory, we need to look at the implementation of the Cisco SD-WAN as well, right? So as far as if I look at it about the exam is of 90 minutes. The cost is of $. So this do it after learning this program. You can go through with the exam by your own way. You have to book it. Yeah, that is a different criteria entirely. But when I look at it, the topics of the exams, these are the topics of the exams. SD-WAN architecture, controller deployment, edge router deployment. So when I'm talking about this three components in which we need to learn the architecture, in which we need to learn the controller deployment, in which we need to learn the edge deployment, this is what we call it, what? SD-WAN basics. SD-WAN. And the rest of the things which is available over here, the rest of the things are some advanced part. This is the SD-WAN advanced. So as far as if you go to an institute, you would like to say that, okay, I would like to learn the SD-WAN. So they share you, okay, we will be teaching you SD-WAN basics, or we will be sharing SD-WAN advanced. But here in networking, you will be learning both together. It means you are learning the entire certification program, which includes your basic, which includes your advanced, as well as what is prerequisite you needed. As I told you, will not be digging deeper about virtualization, will not be digging deeper about SDN, will not be digging deeper about NFV, but I'll let you know what exactly these things so that you can understand what is SD-WAN. How exactly these technologies inside the SD-WAN. So only few summary of it will be there, like for SDN, virtualization and NFV, and then the SD-WAN basics and then the SD-WAN advanced. All exam topics will be covered. And the next thing is what? It is a exam. It is even though a exam or one particular exam for CCNP enterprise. So in case if you enterprise, it is one of the exam within that too. So if you have already passed NCORE and you are doing this, the second exam, it means you have not already cleared 2 exam of the CCNP. That is the another benefit of having SD-WAN. So now I'll come back, I'll clear all this, I'll come back to the agenda. So what we have it as an agenda here, I'll be coming back to that. So what is here, basically we divided this into 4 major parts. So what are those 4 major parts? If I say the first major part is what the base of the SD-WAN, which will cover these 2 modules, in which we will be talking about the SD-WAN solution and how do we deploy the solution. How do we deploy the solution? So in the SD-WAN solution component, you have 3 modules. In deployment, you have 4 modules. So altogether, there are available initially for you to cover SD-WAN basics, in which we'll be talking about SD-WAN solution, SD-WAN components, how do we manage those components. And as far as if I talk about the component, majorly there are components divided into 2 things, the way we have seen there in the exam curriculum, controllers and the edge devices. So when we look at the controllers, there are 3 different type of controllers. Controller is what? Orchestrator. And we call this orchestrator as what? It is a device. In SD-WAN terminology, we call it what it is? It is vBond. Then the next controller which we have it, that is what the management plane. And in SD-WAN terminology, we call it what it is? vManage. Then there is a third controller which we have it. We call it what as a layman, it is a control plane. And in SD-WAN terminology, we call it what it is, vSmart. So these three controllers are available in the solution: vBond, vManage, and vSmart. Orchestrator, management plane, and control plane. So three planes are there. All three planes are the part of controllers. So we will be learning about these three controllers. What are these? What are their hardware architecture? What are their software architecture? How do we deploy them? What are their redundancy programs? Can we host them in the clouds? Can we host them in a private cloud? Can we host them in a public cloud? How do we have the connectivity? What set of configuration we do it onto these devices? How these devices are providing the support to the edge devices? All these things we'll be learning here in the solution and the deployment of the SD-WAN basics. So this is what you can say that the first level of the component of the SD-WAN solution, which is controller. Further, it is divided into three parts. Then we'll be moving towards what edge devices. So when we look at the edge devices, there are two different type of edge devices. The first type of edge device is from the manufacturer who has developed this solution. Who is that manufacturer? That manufacturer is Viptela. So Viptela has provided a edge device, and that edge device is known as an vEdge. Later on, the solution was acquired by Cisco. Once this solution was acquired by Cisco, Cisco has kept initially the same device as an edge device, but later on, they have developed few extra additional things onto these devices, and then they have started saying, oh, we have another device also available which can have the support as an edge device to these controller, and those devices are from Cisco, some specific series of the router from the Cisco, and we call them what? They are C-edges. They are C-edges. So if it is written as an vEdge, then it means the manufacturer was Viptela, but now everything is managed by Cisco. But if it is a C-edge, it means it is manufactured by Cisco and managed by also Cisco. Are we okay? So what are these components available here? So we get to know some idea about these components, which we will be starting during this particular basic program. Then we will be having how this control plane operation works, how the control plane deployment is happening, how the data plane deployment is happening, how do we deploy everything, be it hardware, software, virtualized, on a private cloud, on a public cloud. Everything we'll be learning over here as a basic part of that. I hope the basic part of it, you guys are okay with it. Any questions around here?
No.
Okay. So when we will be learning this all things, we will be even though looking at the lab. So there is a lab provided to you guys, which is with 24/7 support. So which will be available to you 24/7. And this is what I have drawn a topology, which generally I give it to my students. As much as big you want, I can draw that big topology. As well as small you want, I can draw that small version of this topology for you. N number of scenarios we can cover it over here. So you will be able to see here it is a data center. In this data center, we have deployed all these components, which those are the controllers. It is connected through a virtual network, then it is connected through a physical network. And this physical network is connected through a MPLS network, and it is connected through a business internet network. And then I deployed 4 sites. The first site is only connected with MPLS network. The second site is having 2 devices as an edge devices. And they all are having what? Dual link. towards MPLS circuit, towards internet circuits. Then there is the third site. The third site is also deployed in a similar way, the way my second site is deployed. Then we have fourth site, which is again a single VH and single link site, which is connected to internet. So this is what generally I offer to my student, which covers each and every scenario of the SD-WAN. But as I told you that in case if you want more number of sites, more number of devices, I can give you big topology. In case if you want small, I can give you a smaller version of that. So how we will be proceeding? I will be teaching you theory, then I'll be demonstrating here in the lab environment. And then later on, I'll ask you, okay, now the lab is available with you and you have the access of the lab 24/7. You will be able to access it at your own flexible time. And you have to perform the task. It means whatever I taught you this week, next week, when you'll come back to me, you should be practiced it. So if you will not practice it, you won't be able to understand the next week task. So that will be a challenge for you guys. So in case if you are enrolling, so you have to spend some of the time at your own as well after the class that you need to practice there in the lab environment. So did you like the lab?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. It's great.
Yes, ma'am.
So I hope this lab gives you the sufficient idea that how we will be working with the lab environment as well.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, please.
I thought vBond, vManage, and vSmart comes in one package, as in one software.
No, they are different, entirely different things.
Okay.
So this was your initial thought, or you did studied it somewhere else?
No, I was studying NSXT, wherein
Okay.
it was given a small training by a sales representative.
Okay.
So I got this idea about this controllers and different type of SDN implementation.
Okay.
Uh,
So when they were teaching you SDN implementation, they were teaching you how to deploy the controllers.
okay.
Okay. And that was actually you can say hypervisor platform NSXT, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It is.
Right.
Yes.
So when it is an hypervisor platform, within that hypervisor platform, we remain at a hypervisor layer only. We do not go to the upper layers. So when we go to the upper layers beyond the hypervisor in a data center, then you get to know, oh, these softwares are deployed either in a Kubernetes or in a container or in a virtual machine. So virtual machine is no longer is a layman only. There are different terminologies and different layers are available for a virtual machines. So there, these things are deployed separately.
Okay.
It could be in one single server. It could be in one single hypervisor, but these three are different things.
Okay. Got it.
That's where here, just to have a simulation, I just have drawn a virtual network over here so that you can have an understanding of it. What exactly is there in this virtual network? That's what I told you, that I'll be giving some idea in a as a prerequisite only, what exactly kind of a data center it is in which these things are deployed. Got it? Okay. Is there anything else or any another questions? If no, let me move ahead. Let me go back to the slides where we were having the discussion. Right? So this is what we will be doing. We will be implementing everything with the help of these two things. Once we'll cover with this, my entire deployment of SD-WAN will be okay. So what you have as in basics there in the exam topics will be covering with this plus lab. Once that thing will be over, then we will be moving towards the advanced part. What we have in the advanced part? In the advanced part, we will be looking at the templates. How do we prepare templates? Different devices, different type of templates. Then we will be talking about the routing parameters between these devices. So there is a dedicated routing protocol available. That is what OMP. We call it what? It is Overlay Management Protocol. And it is the Viptela proprietary solution. It has some features like BGP, but it is a proprietary solution. It works within the Viptela devices only. When I say Viptela devices, it means the Viptela solution, and the CISCO SD-WAN is also supporting this protocol. And it has a legacy support as well. When I say legacy support, it supports the traditional WAN routing protocols like OSPF and BGP. So OSPF and BGP routes can be redistributed to OMP, or OMP routes can be redistributed to OSPF and BGP, as well as even though a static route. So this is what the compatibility this protocol is having. So when we will be talking about the routing, within this particular solution, so we will be learning about the OMP, and we will be able to see how these OMP routes can be redistributed to this traditional network, and traditional network routes can be redistributed to OMP, so that there could be a scenario in a organization or in an enterprise where they would like to have migration to SD-WAN, and few sites are already migrated to SD-WAN and few sites are still using what traditional network. Still, they will have the communication between traditional and the SD-WAN. That's wherein some legacy support is also available. I hope it is okay. So the guys, those they need to look at the solution in which migration is happening, or the organization is going to migrate. So while migration is happening, still we need the support into what? All those they are still using traditional network. We will be covering here under the routing, and we'll be able to see how this support is there. Next parameter is what we'll be looking at, what set of policies we deploy it over here. There are different type of policies we deploy. Policies related to control plane, policies related to data, related to application aware routing, like where exactly my application is. Either it is sitting at public cloud, it is sitting at private cloud. For a particular server, in case if I want to say that, okay, for a particular server, my traffic should go from this particular, that can also be configured here. So entire policy framework we need to understand. We will be able to understand the operation and construction. We'll be able to understand how packets are being forwarded when we are configuring the policies. And at a later stage, we will even though have a look at it later, this particular solution. How do we manage this particular solution? Solution is deployed. Then later on, day-to-day operation is what? Management and monitoring of the solution. So management and monitoring will also be discussed in the solution. To do, there is a default feature available, that is what? Management plane, which does everything. But apart from that, there is a dedicated service VPN or VPN. And that VPN is known as a VPN 512. And that VPN does this monitoring and forwarding or management task. So we'll take care of that too. We will be, even though have a look at the policies, those policies can be created for that monitoring and management task. We'll be able to cover all this advanced option. After that, we'll have what? The course review for a day in case if somebody wants to have. I can even though share some set of Q&A with you. And a lot of Q&As are available on networking sites as well. I'll be sharing the link of that with you. And for the evaluation purpose, you guys go ahead and you can, once you will be able to complete everything, You can go ahead to the Cisco website. You can register yourself for the exam. That's an entirely different process. We just into trainings, but of course we can evaluation. It means how you can get the certification. We can guide you, but you have to follow that process in case if you have any doubt with the agenda and all those things.
Hi, ma'am.
Yes, please.
You covered also BFD and TLACs also covered
Yes,
this
of course.
SD. In lot of instances came, that's why I'm asking. BFD and TLACs also is covered,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, BFD
Yeah.
session.
And TLACs.
Yes, of course, we will cover TLOCs.
Yeah, okay.
Until we'll not understand TLOCs, we will not. We will cover TLOCs as well cover TLOC extension.
Yeah, okay, okay. Thank you.
My participants to do it. So that's what I told you. Only after enabled everything. So if you will be able to, this is the link which I kept for the TLOC extension. This is the link. With the help of this link, we can configure TLOC extension. Without defining, my solution will not be okay, because I won't be able to tell you that how the OMP routes or TLOC routes are traveling from one device to another device, from one location to another location. How the reachability is there, that is always through logs. Anything else, guys? So should I consider it no?
Ma'am, actually your voice middle of cases is breaking.
Is it for everybody it is breaking?
Yeah, yes, it is for everyone.
Yes.
So, ma'am, hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so what is the main advantage when we are implementing SD-WAN in our network?
Okay. There are a lot of main advantages. So when we look at the first advantage is what, let me start writing over here the advantages for you. The first advantage is what we that's the main advantage of this SD-WAN solution. It's the cost. So before SD-WAN, we were using traditional network for a vendor monopoly. Right. So let me know in which organization you work.
I'm working in Tech Mahindra, and the customer side is a banking customer side. So
Okay.
there is no SD-WAN technology in our client side. If I am
Okay.
going to propose, so I ask what is the advantage, so why we require?
They will ask you why you are asking us to implement SD-WAN, right?
Yes.
Yes. So the first thing which I told you, that is what the benefit is, the cost, right? How do I justify now this benefit of the cost, right? Let me now explain you the cost benefit. Let's take an example. You are working for Tech Mahindra and your customer is a banking customer, right? Now
Yes.
that bank customer is having its branches all around the world, right?
Yes.
So when we look at in the traditional network, we open a whiteboard for you. Confidential, right? Now this banking customer is having what? Lot of individual customers, right?
Yes.
Here, branch available here, right? Branches, they are connected through the WAN link. This is, I can say that branch 1. Branch 2, right? And both they are connected with WAN link. What set of WAN link it is?
It is MPLS.
It's a lease line MPLS. Right?
MPLS.
Fine. So generally, when we look at it, what this could be lease line or it is a MPLS, right? What this employees of they are doing here, how they are helping their customers. Using some.
No, ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Ma'am,
It is for all of you. So,
humble request, ma'am. Your voice is breaking middle of cases.
Yes,
All are facing the problem.
Yeah, it is for all of
Is it for everybody? For all
Yes,
of
yes,
you?
everyone.
Yes.
Please respond all
We
team
are
members.
difficult to hear you.
there is some network issue, I think.
Give me a second. I'll quickly switch it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
I'll just stop sharing. I'll switch it and I'll come back. Now tell me, guys.
No, it's fine.
It's fine, perfectly fine. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen back with you. So now in these branches, what the employees of this banking customer will be doing? They'll be having some set of the applications, right? In which their customers' accounts will be there. The customer accounts transactions will be there, right? Like example, let's take an example of ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank, right? I'm a user of ICICI Bank or I'm a user of HDFC Bank. I'll be using online banking as well, right? So I'll be having all my transaction detail there in the online banking. Each and every bank is having what their application for their customers, right? And those applications, where exactly those applications are hosted? Those applications would be hosted somewhere on the cloud, right? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes.
Somewhere on the cloud. This cloud could be a private cloud or could be a public cloud.
Yes,
what is private cloud and what is public cloud now?
Public, for which everyone has the
Like
access, and
Amazon.
private,
Right.
Yes, private is
Private means
in
the
that
banking.
particular use only.
especially the banking
Yeah.
and the private, which has the credentials and the specific
The,
access.
when we say the the meaning of the private is the bank only belongs to this. The cloud only belongs to this bank. When we say public, it means it is belonging to this bank, as well as there are few more companies, those they are hosting their resources on that public cloud.
It is shared network, right?
Yeah, you can say it's a shared cloud. Private is what? It is personal cloud. Right? Now, this could be hosted, this database could be hosted somewhere on the cloud. So let's say this is what the server onto which this application is hosted. And this server is connected with the storage device in which all the transactions are there. Right? Now, how do we have the connectivity of these branches to this data center in traditional way? We were having both the branches connected with what? This data center again with what?
Dedicated lease line or MPLS.
Dedicated lease line or MPLS. Don't you think this lease line and MPLS are very expensive? Right now, I'm talking about two branches, and two branches needs to have their own connectivity as well as the connectivity to the data center, right? So altogether, when I look at it, what these three sites needs to have what? Three links.
Yes,
Right?
very expensive. Yes.
Very
Yes.
expensive links.
Yes.
Right? With some down the line, some last years, if we look at it, what the people, they have started working from what? Anywhere. It's not necessary that we need to go to what? Office location. If I'm sitting at my home, let's take an example. I'm the employee of this bank and I'm sitting at my home. Right? And I would like to work on this system. What is the criteria in the traditional network? I need to have a VPN connectivity first. Right? Through the VPN, I'll be reaching to this any of the branch. Then
Yes,
I'll
yes.
be using again this lease line connection. Right? I'll be going like this way to the MPLS link, then to this lease line to access this application. And then the storage will be accessed. Being an employee of the bank, right? Do you think this is an expensive?
Yeah, it's really expensive.
Right? Even though I'm having an internet connectivity, I can directly jump to this through the internet connectivity.
Yes, we can do.
Because cloud resources are easily available on internet. I need not to even though connect to my branch. Only the thing is what we would need. What extra thing we would be looking at? What is the concern over here?
It's all about the security concerns.
Perfect. Only the security concerns. Right? SD-WAN solution is a cheaper solution, which says you can connect from anywhere, from any transport with built-in security. You can connect from anywhere, from any transport, be it is lease line, MPLS, internet, IoT, LTE, wireless connectivity, whatever you think. 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, whatever is coming in, you can use any transport with inbuilt security.
So there is no limitation.
No limitation.
Yeah, ma'am, I have one question.
So that will just give me a minute before I move to your question. That can you think about the security concern is removed, the cost is reduced, any transport can be utilized. And nowadays the scenario is like that only. People would like to work with the flexibility. I mean, even the organizations, they are giving the flexibility and they are hosting their more and more application onto the cloud. Be it is a private cloud or public cloud. Everything is what? We are moving in the digital transformation. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me the doubt which you were having as a benefit. Is it clear to you?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Now let me have the another question. Yes, please. What was the another question?
Yeah, this is Nishant. Actually, my question is related to the network. So, in the SD-WAN comes with the wide area network. But if we talk about the spoke branches, so it has the access switches and other devices which generally we called it SDA. So shall we
Right.
cover? So shall we cover this SDA part also?
No. Let me tell you what exactly that.
Yes, please.
When we look at the bigger umbrella is SDN. It is software defined network. Now this bigger umbrella is divided into what? Smaller, you can say that branches. So it has a branch for LAN. It has a branch for WAN, right? Within the LAN also, it has the branches for the wired network and for the wireless network. Wired network, right? And for the wireless network, and here comes your WAN, right? So this is what your LAN. Within the LAN, you have these networks. So when we are talking about the wired network, the solution from the SDN is, when we are talking about wireless network, then the solution from the SDN. And when we are talking about WAN, then the solution from the SDN. This solution is your SDA. This solution is your Meraki. This solution is your SD-WAN. So I hope now you understood where exactly SD-WAN.
Yeah, thanks, I got it.
You got it? So where exactly SDA? For SDA, you need to have a different thing. For wireless network, you need to have a different thing. And for WAN, you need to have a different thing. So thank you for even though raising this question, because it is now an eye opener for others as well.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
My Meraki is also marketed as SD-WAN technology.
Right. But actually it is what? It is supporting the wireless network which is available within the LAN. When the traffic which will originated from this and there is a destination available over the WAN. So the source is here, destination is here.
Okay.
Plus the other thing is what? When I'm talking about the controller of this solution, the controller is hosted at Cisco Cloud. Earlier, it was a solution of Meraki. It was hosted in Meraki Cloud. But now, once the solution is acquired by Cisco, it is hosted in the Cisco Cloud. The controller is hosted here. So every time when you are doing any changes in the control plane of the Meraki, the devices, you just have an interface of the device available here. But where exactly your device? Your devices are being managed by this controller, which is a WAN link, which is not a local link. Wherein in the SDA terms, my entire devices are here, they are hardware devices. Here they are hardware devices, but these hardware devices doesn't have a console port. Only these devices will be managed through this. No local management is available. That's wherein it is marketed as a WAN solution. But Meraki is for the wireless network. I hope it is answered.
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me, guys, if you have any another query.
I have one. What is integrated security
Okay.
as per SD-WAN?
Right. The integrated security is what it is using secured tunnels. So there are two types of secure tunnel it is using. One secure tunnel is for the control plane. Another type of secure tunnel is for the data plane. Control plane secure tunnels are either DTLS tunnels or TLS tunnels. We'll talk about these tunnels in detail, how these tunnels are being established. Then when we look at the other type of tunnels, which I told you, the data plane tunnels, these tunnels are IPsec tunnels. This is what the integrated or inbuilt security within the SD-WAN solution. As soon as the control plane is up, automatically your tunnel is up. As soon as your data plane is up, automatically the tunnel is up. You are not doing anything. You're not going to configure IPsec. You're not going to troubleshoot IPsec. That's what it is, an inbuilt or integrated security within the SD-WAN solution.
Okay,
But
got
I
it.
can show it to you by implementing it only.
Understood.
Understood,
So,
Sandesh?
yes. So it's similar to Global Protect from Palo Alto.
Yeah, of course. It is similar to. That's what the Palo Alto says, that we have already implemented SD-WAN within our solution. But that is not a complete solution. It is a partial solution. All these security firewall companies, they say that we have SD-WAN like Fortinet, Palo Alto, even though Cisco 40 and other companies, those they are Checkpoint. They say they have SD-WAN solution, but they do not have the complete SD-WAN solution. They are only using what? The data plane tunnels, not they don't have any control plane security inbuilt.
Okay.
The Cisco Viptela solution is a full-fledged solution. I don't infest on Cisco, but it was actually built by Viptela and then acquired by Cisco. This is the powerful solution which has everything. Exact meaning of SD-WAN.
I have one more question.
Yes, please.
Cisco, last year Cisco acquired Thousand Eyes. So Thousand Eyes has the different devices, or it is using the same concept of SD-WAN?
What is the product as in Thousand Eye?
Thousand Eyes, yeah, even it's a kind of product to understand the latency and other remote troubleshootings.
So it is a monitoring tool.
Yeah, monitoring tool. So I had a
This
basic
monitoring tool can be used on SDA, can be used on Meraki, can be used on SD-WAN devices. It can monitor anything.
So for that, we have to install these tools separately
Yes.
in our network.
We need not to install in our network. It is already installed in the Cisco cloud. We need to just get a access. We just need to get our accounts created over there by getting the license of it.
Yeah, I used to have the access, but I never used it.
That's okay, but now you understood what exactly is Thousand Eye,
Yes, thank you.
right? Okay. Anything else now?
For Meraki, we have the different portal. SD-WAN, we have the different portal. So SDA will also have its own different portal.
Yeah. So ultimate, if I say my entire traditional network is migrated, if we will not study now, will be what left behind. But we must know traditional network to learn all this, because traditional network is the baseline. On the base of traditional network, only these things are there. If there is no MPLS, there is no internet, we won't be able to establish SD-WAN. We must need that. Then only we'll be able to establish SD-WAN. So it means this all the digital form which we are learning, that is all the upper layer. The lower layer is my traditional network only. So in case, guys, if you do not have any doubts, so I can summarize it here itself, and you guys can connect to the support team for the next class. They will let you know when we are having the next class, in which we'll start with the solution overview. We'll be talking about the prerequisite of the technology. Like what is SDN? What exactly is NFV? Right, all these things will be starting in the first class itself. So that will be counted as the second class. I hope it is okay.
It is weekend or weekdays batch?
What you prefer?
So we are in working time, that's how we are preferring weekend.
It is weekend only.
Okay, because Monday to Friday we are working.
Yes, it is weekend only. And this will be the timings as per IST. It is 11 to 1. That will be the timing. Maybe at initial stage, we will be having only next 2 classes only on Sunday. And then we will start every Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. So most probably duration of this, if we are preferring weekend, how many days it will take for completing the course?
40 hours.
Approximately.
40 hours.
40.
Hi, ma'am. I need to leave, so I just
yeah, that's perfectly fine. Thank you, Ravi.
Yeah, next week we'll meet up. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sure. We will meet next week.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah,
bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
And all are facing the one problem. Your side, a lot of disturbance is there. In middle of cases, problem, voice noise. In next class, please check that one, ma'am.
So it was at initial stage, but now it's not there, right?
And now it's not there. This is important.
I migrated to another network.
Yeah,
See,
okay. In next week, ma'am, not now.
Yeah, perfect. All we are working in the network, you know that we have to keep a backup solution, and that's what I did. Right?
I can understand.
Right? So I'm having a backup solution and I just quickly, you can see that how quickly I migrated it to the backup.
Yes, yes.
Within the fractions of seconds and my connection was not terminated, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, ma'am, I can understand. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So hopefully it will not happen in the next upcoming class. Today, I think so there is something
Yes, ma'am.
from the backend only. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, ma'am. Do I need to complete my ENCORE to understand this?
Do you have knowledge of CCNA routing and switching?
Yes, I have. I'm
Sufficient.
currently pursuing my ENCORE right now, which is Wednesday and Thursday.
Then that's perfectly fine.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Vinita, how about you? You would like to ask something?
No, ma'am, this session is quite good. And I have no query about this course.
Okay, thank you. So I would request everybody to connect with support team to enroll to this, and let's meet next week at the same time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.